Hi, Doug Janson, Product Specialist in the Denver office. Today we're going to take a little bit more in-depth look into the new QTrader. I'm working with a 14.x version. If you don't have that on your desktop, it will be out shortly before the end of 2013. All right, let's go ahead and start off with charts. We're currently looking at a 30-minute crude chart. In QTrader, you only get one chart. Let's talk about manipulating this chart. I can put the point of the mouse anywhere in the chart, hold down the left mouse button, and move the chart left to right, up or down, and so forth. I can also manipulate the y-axis, put the point of the mouse on the price activity. I can shrink and expand the price bars or the ranges that way. And if I want more history on the chart, I can do the same thing in the date line. I can grab that, move it to the right, and you can see much more 30-minute crude history on that chart. If things get a little out of whack, you can tap the Enter button on your keyboard. It will realign the chart to a default spacing. Let's go ahead and expand that out a little bit. All right, moving up and down time frames. We're on a 30-minute chart. Let's type in 5. When I type in 5 on a chart, it comes in the lower left-hand corner automatically. Hit Enter. There's our 5-minute chart. And if I want to take a look at different sessions on and off, all of the chart functionality is going to be found in the Setup button in the upper left-hand corner. This left-hand toolbar will change relative to the window that you are on. I'm on a chart window, so this is a toolbar for charts. We're going to left-click on that, left-click on Chart Setup, and here I can toggle on and off the sessions, in this case for the crude market. If I want to look at just the old pit hours, I can say look at primary only, click Apply, and my chart now just shows the primary pit hours. Again, I'm going to go ahead and turn those back on for the top session and the overnight session. Continuation data, currently it's a no continuation chart. The different types of continuation are standard. Take the contract up to the last trading day and then roll it over to the next month. Adjusted X number of days before last trading day. Or active. Active looks at volume moving out of one month to the next before first notice day, or in the energy complex before last trading day. It's the only complex that has a last trading day before first notice day. You'll notice equalize closes here. That will close the roll differential between the months and back adjust the data for those of you that are using analytics on the chart and want a much smoother moving average or any other type of analytic. And then by month, we can also do an active chart by month. By month means that if we, in the December contract for crude right now, it would be December 2013, 12, 11, and so forth going back. So those are the different choices you have there. And then the main button simply restates what we're looking at on the chart with some highlighting that I do not have turned on. Recalc is an important tab here. For those of you with newer hardware, recalc on every tick is the setting you want. For older hardware or a lot of analytics on your chart, I would use recalc first tick of the bar and then periodically. Again, that's our recalculation engine. This is a toggle for that. And then the rest of the stuff I won't go through, but certainly take a look at it on a slow trading day. All right, let's go back to our chart. We're back to a 5-minute crude chart, and to go to anything higher than intraday charts, type in comma and the first letter of where you want to go. So if I do comma D, that's going to take me to a daily. Comma W is going to take me to a weekly. Comma M for monthly, Q for quarterly, and so on. Going back to our daily chart, this is just a December daily crude chart. That is not continuation. I showed you where to find the continuation under the setup button. You can also use the keystrokes. Comma DC is standard continuation. Comma ADC, active daily continuation. And comma JDC, which is adjusted continuation. So I'll type in comma D, go back to our daily chart. And there's many different chart types you can also look at besides just the bars that we have here on the chart. If I right-click on the title bar of the chart, you can see the different chart types, point and figure, tick charts, T-flow charts. Under the More button, there's even additional chart types here. We won't go through all of those in this one particular lesson, but this is where you'll find them. In addition to that, we can also have tabs, and tabs are new in the 14 version. So if you're still on 13, this will be coming out at the end of 2013. The nice thing about the tabs is you can have up to 4 on a chart. In this case, you'll notice I have the crude, the December crude with 3 different time frames, actually 4. So if I left click on the first one, there's our 2-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 10-minute chart, and a daily chart. I had some indicators, different indicators on those earlier time frames. I modified the daily to actually took them off before I started this. And you can right click on these. You can auto hide the toolbar or the tab bar if you want. When you put your mouse close to it, boom, it pops back up. Or we can right click on the title bar and just say hide the tab bar completely. But I'm going to go ahead and do the auto hide on it. Okay, spreads quickly. Let's cover that. For synthetic or implied spreads, 1 month minus the other, typing in CLE, I'm going to do the December, January crude spread, CLEZ 13 for 2013 minus CLEF 14 2014 for the Jan. Hit enter, and can I find feedback bar server? That's fine. Here is our implied spread. And certainly if we want to look at an exchange traded spread, which is one symbol where most of the volume is traded, it is CLE, S for spread. The next one is the number, in other words, the distance between the legs. I'm going to type in 1, and then the first leg, which is Z13, December 2013. Hit enter, and this is going to give me the exchange traded December-January spread. Again, it's one symbol. When you trade this spread through the electronic markets, the exchange will assign you 2 legs on your statement the next day. So if you need to leg out. Let's go back to the outright, CLE. All right, and that's just a quick overview on the charting. Let's go ahead and talk about analytics in the charts. The study button on the left-hand toolbar will open up a number of tabs. Basic studies are all included, along with custom studies. These are studies that you would have coded in yourself. Statistical functions, and pointer tools such as trend lines and Fibonacci retracements. ATM all the way to the right are third-party vendors. Those are only found on our higher CQG integrated client. Outside of trading, at the very end, trading allows you to show on your charts any type of order information, metrics I should say. I do have the order display button turned on. When you find the acronyms for what you're looking for, if you left click on it, you'll notice it turns gray and it adds itself to the toolbar. If you left click on it, when it's gray, it takes it off. So that's how you toggle on and off studies that you want to see. Alright, and once you have a few studies picked out, you can close this window. Left-hand toolbar is populated. And then simply left-clicking on the study. Let's go ahead and do a moving average. Left-click on the moving average button or the MA button. That adds a moving average to the chart. Actually, let's take off the banding I have here. I'll right-click on DJ Fold. We're back to a chart with just a moving average. And I'm going to right-click on that moving average. Right-click into CQG normally brings up a menu, all different parts of the product. And I'm going to modify the moving average. You'll see that it's a 21 period simple moving average based on the close. I can make modifications here to the type of moving average, color, and so forth. As I make those changes, if I want to drop down to the lower Fibonacci number 13 and have that stick, I always want to make sure I click on Set Defaults. And now that's memorized for that particular study. To turn this off, I can either right-click on the moving average button, which will turn it off, or I can right-click in the blank space of the chart, and I can say Remove Study. This is also an area how I can add studies. Right-click on the chart, Add Study, and you get a list of all of the different information that you can pull out. Again, a right-click in CQG 90% of the time will bring up a menu. All right, that's charting. That's basic technical analysis. Let's just quickly put a trend line on, and then we'll move on. So if I left-click on the trend button, you'll notice at the top here, the metal and the magnet are associated with drawing tools. If the metal is touching the magnet, CQG will find the high and the low close to your mouse. So let's go ahead and put a trend line here on October 28th, and we'll connect that to the November 12th high. Left click, and there's our trend line. Move the chart a little bit to the left. You can see how it goes out into the future. And then we can do some additional things with this trend line. I'm going to right click in the blank area of the chart. I'm going to say none to get my normal cursor back. I'm going to right click on that trend line. I'm going to modify it. I'm sorry, I'm going to actually add a price line alert on that trend. This opens up our alert window, feeds in all the information that we need for this trend line, and at the same time it turns it on. Now above actions, because the market's below it, if I double left click there, it opens up an additional window that I can change the sound, display, email. I can also place orders if I was logged into my trading account, which I'm not right now. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that alert off. We'll close the alert window and back to our chart. I'm going to right click on the trend line and remove it. I'm going to tap the enter key to realign the chart. We'll expand it just a little bit. Okay, and let's go to the monitor window, which is right above us. This is one of our quote boards. This can be found under the quote button on the upper left-hand corner. The monitor is probably the most flexible window that you can use to not only display price activity but trade activity. And you'll notice that we have some different sectors already set up in it for you. Financials, energies, grains, and metals. The metals, we have the first two contracts in gold, silver, then we have platinum, palladium, and what is missing is copper. So we're going to go through and put copper in here. First, let's go see what the copper symbol is. Simply by left-clicking on the symbols button, top of the screen, symbol search. And this will open up our database of all exchanges. I will just type in the word copper. I will hit search. And anything that comes back with a pink background is data that we carry, but you're not enabled to see it. You can always call one of the salespeople to have it turned on for a trial on many of these exchanges. What I'm looking for is the COMEX on Globex, which is the electronic copper. And our outright symbol, you can see here at the top, is CPE. Our exchange traded spreads that I went over earlier on the crude are also here for copper, and you can see those below that. So now that we know the symbol, we'll go to our monitor and we will type in CPE. Now I can type in Z13 for the spot month, or I can type in $1. $1 is a wild card that says give me spot. So I'll do CPE $2 and then CPE $3. And that'll give me the December, March, May contracts. When December goes off the board, those three cells will automatically roll. So you don't have to go back and touch the monitor at all. And as you click on any one of these symbols, you will see that this changes the trading interface. Now I don't have the chart tied to it, so let's go ahead and tie the chart to our monitor. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and left click on the icon in the upper left hand corner, and we're going to say link more windows. Our parent window is the monitor. One of the children or child is the trading interface, and we'll also do the chart. I'll come back and I'll right click to turn that off, and now when I change the contract on the monitor, it changes the trading interface. Actually, we should go to the December, and it changes the chart over to December. So now these are all linked together. All right, and to modify the monitor window, you can right click on any one of the columns, you can add columns, you can do all sorts of additions and reorganization and sorting here. So keep that in mind when you want to set up some more customized portfolio monitors. All right, let's go ahead and log into the trading interface. Keep in mind, you've already logged once into CQG to get the data and the desktop that you see in front of you and up and running. Second thing you have to do is log into your trading account. So I'm going to left click on login, type in the password, and now we're in a trading account, and we'll go ahead and stay with the gold market. So I'm going to go ahead and left click on the chart. The left hand toolbar changes. I'll put some channels on the chart. Let's take this down to maybe a 2-minute gold chart. And let's assume that we're going to get short here. So I'm going to go to the trading interface, and you can see the price ladder for the trading interface. I'm going to go ahead and try to sell a 1 lot, and let's do 85.5 here. So I'll move that out to the sell column. I'll let it go, and we're going to work that 85.5. I'm sorry, it's 86.5. You can see the order working there. Boom, we got filled. We're short now. 86.5s on the gold market. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the bands into the trading interface. So I'll right click on these display boxes for the value of the bands and say show on the trading interface. And I can actually place orders on these bands now. So I'm going to put a buy stop above this particular band by 1 tick. I'll right click on the box. I'm going to say buy stop offsetting. I'm going to put a +1 there, and then I'll put it 1 tick above it. And then let's go see if we can get a profit down here currently at 85 9/10. Put a buy limit there. And so those two are now working. We're filled. Again, we're short 1. You can see on our monitor it says the position currently that we're in is a short 1 position on the December gold market. We're going to go down to the lower right hand corner, orders and positions. And this particular window here is our back office software. It's going to tell us everything we've done in today's trading. And the two orders that are working right now are that limit and that stop. I'm going to OCO those orders, order cancel order. I'm going to left click on the chain link first, go to the second working order and back to the first. At this point now associates these two, so whichever one gets hit first, the other one gets canceled. All right, and you can see we've also got under our field tab where we got short the gold market. Purchase and sales, nothing's been done in there yet. Back to the orders tab, account summary shows your overall dollar amounts. And margin requirements are currently not working on simulated accounts, but that should be changed, I think, next year. All right, and let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the trading interface. You get 4 tabs across the top that you can move between markets easily. And once again, you can also go to the monitor. I can click on December crude, and that'll change the tab and the chart over to that same particular symbol. And back to the metals, and it automatically goes to the top symbol here, which is the December gold. Gold's going against us a few ticks. We're out $20 on this one lot. And let's talk about setup on the trading interface. Again, the left-hand toolbar now reflects that we're on a trading window. I'll left-click on the setup button. I will go to, whoops, we're on the monitor window. Let's highlight that trading window. Left-click on setup, trading interface, or preferences. And this is, I'm not going to go through all these, but this is how you can change your trading interface to suit your needs. I've made some modifications to mine relative to what you're seeing. But certainly go ahead and experiment with this. Price display, notifications. I have a lot of them turned off, so when I put my orders through, I don't get warnings before the order gets placed. Risk, this is fat finger controls, but the true risk is done on your FCM level based on your equity or other criteria they set up. Limits and stops, I won't go into that. Smart orders, these are different order types. One of them that we've already used is the order cancels order, or OCO, but I won't go through all of these. Each one of these has a different type of strategy behind them, and you can read about them on our help files. And then we have a large selection of keyboard keys that you can actually use if you feel like trading from the keyboard. I have that turned off. All right, back to our trading interface one more time. We have some drop downs here that we can make the modifications to the different type of order types that we want. I have it set up just to do plain vanilla limits, stops, and pulling the order from the price ladder out to the buy column on the left or to the right. We'll either put a limit or a stop out relative to where the market is. So if I'm buying below the market, it's a limit. If I'm selling below the market, it comes out as a stop. All right, so we did get hit on our buy stop, which means we lost some money. Currently we have 2 fills, the in and out on the gold. If I go to my purchase and sales, you can see we lost 4 ticks. We're out $40. All right, back to the trading interface. That's pretty much I'm going to cover. Price ladders in the middle. The bid pool on my trading interface is the 10 on the lower part, and the offer pool is the 10 in red on the upper part. The best bid and offer are highlighted in this case blue and red, and the little box that has the one in it shows the size of the last trade and what price that took place on. All right, let's go through a few more things before we call this one a done video. Charts, quotes, time and sales. Time and sales are carryover from the floor. If I open that up, it's going to show every single traded price plus bids and offers. In this case, it's going to start with the E-mini S&P. If I want to see gold, just type in GCE, hit enter. There's the December gold. I can toggle on and off the bids and offers. So now they're off and we just have trades. Corrections. The electronic market does not have corrections, or I should say many, compared to, of course, the pit. So that's kind of a useless key. And then compress, that's just going to take the data and compress it to a certain size, but I don't have that set up right now, so we will skip over it. The alert window, we saw a little bit of that earlier when we did the cross-line alerts on the trend line. If you recall, it still happens to be there, so I could always turn it on. Once again, I could double left click where it says above actions, and it's because now I have a trading account turned on, I can assign it to that trading account and say buy one at the market when it hits that upper trend line. In this case, we'll go ahead and turn that off. And a few of the other alerts there simply are price alerts, time alerts, which I won't go into. They're pretty basic. When you open up the window, you'll be able to find your way through. And then study alerts are simply moving average 1 crosses moving average 2, can be a study alert, RSI is above 75, and so forth. All right, so all contracts is the next button across the top. This opens up a forward curve of any market that you choose to look at. It is live data, but it is not dynamic in the fact that you cannot change or modify any of these columns or headings. Next button over is order. These are different types of, actually this is our order ticket. Whoops. And this particular window is, some people use it in place of the DOM trader, the depth of market trading window, which is the one that was originally on the screen. What's nice about this window is if you want to go off the market quite a bit and place an order, let's say I want to buy at $92 even, which is more than $1.82 from where we're at, I can type in $92 even, hit enter, and you'll notice that my price buttons now change. In this window, you do not pull prices out to the buy and sell column. You don't have that functionality here. So you certainly have to either left click on a price, which will change it on the buttons, or type one in down here. What's nice about this window, it does give you an orders and positions view on the bottom of it. So in essence, you could get rid of the orders and positions window and the DOM window and just trade off of this particular order ticket window. The trade button opens up different type of trading and back office software like the orders and positions. I won't go through all of these. SnapTrader, for example, is a trading mechanism that you actually put on the chart and trade off of that. All right, welcome button just opens up our welcome window that you saw when you installed the product. And then under the more button, we have additional functionality. A lot of this functionality is advanced and only found in our CQG integrated client. However, some noteworthy exceptions are the signal evaluator. This allows you to look at entry long and short signals and their profitability over X number of bars into the future. So it gives you a good idea of how good that you're pinpointing your entry points on a market based on conditions. And under the More button, we also have contract specs. If I left click on that, it's going to open up a market. In this case, the 10 interest rate swap. It tells you the size of the contract, trading hours, and so forth. Easy way to populate this is first click on a chart, which will populate this window with that symbol. All right, let's talk about saving our work. As you make modifications to the desktop is anything that sits on this gray background. Even if the windows aren't showing, it is considered a page. So if I right click on the page button, I say save to another page, and we'll just put this one out at page 10. Actually, let's do page 15. I'm going to change the name to demo, and let's change the group to demo also. I'll left click on save. In the upper left hand corner of the CQG, you see now that we have page 15. If I left click on the page button, you can see demos there, and there's my page. So right clicking to save to a different page, left clicking to pull that up in the future. As you make modifications, in this case to page 15, don't forget to click on the Save button to hard code those saves. Now we have a number of pages already across the top of the screen. These are canned pages for your use. It's from Home all the way over to Options. Each one of these will open up a different view, in this case T-Flow and the order ticker or ticket. Back to Home brings us back to the page we were just on. Symbols button we just covered in terms of looking up the copper symbol. And then formulas, we give you the ability to put in any type of formula that you might get out of a magazine or any custom study, any condition. Key formulas are simply spreads or relationship weightings that you want to put in here and then call up quickly in a chart or on a quote board with a Q number. Conditions are true and false returns. Moving average 1 crosses above moving average 2, either true or false on a price bar. User values are numeric results. Normally I use custom studies instead. That creates a toolbar button for you, and it allows you to view the numeric output. For example, if you will have a study that is MACD A times RSI divided by 2, you can put that in here, create a button on the left-hand toolbar, and apply that to a chart. We do not have trading systems on this version of CQG. That is found on our CQG integrated client version. Okay, and messages, I won't go into that. Support, this is backing up your data and some other things in here that you might have to go through when you call one of our support specialists. And then window, if I right click on it, it will help arrange windows, tiled, vertical, and so forth. And if you left click on it, you can choose a window this way. And then our online help file is under the question mark. And that's pretty much an overall view of this. If we take a look at, and actually let's talk about getting some symbols on the chart. Let's go to our, trying to find a chart without any stuff on there. Well, let's talk about what we're seeing here. Okay, so we've got some conditions that are true and false to bring these arrows up. To get those on the chart, and that would mean we would have to create those in the formula button under conditions. Once we have created those, just like this moving average cross, we right click on price bars, in this case on the bands. We modify it, and you can see here is one condition that creates the down arrow applied to the chart. The same condition can be run in Signal Evaluator. Alright, this is Doug Janson, product specialist in the Denver office, and that is a more in-depth view of QTrader version 14 due out at the end of 2013. Thank you.